I'm putting socks on for this.
Good to know.
I've got socks on.
I put pants on also.
You should.
Yeah.
It'll help with your circulation, which will help you answer these questions. Mario time. This is episode 233 of Insert Credit, our video game talk show featuring a panel of experts who absolutely must answer whatever question I pose to them within 6 minutes or meet the reproach of a horrible buzzer. I'm Alex Jaffe, and the worst non-entertainment related job I ever had was cold calling prisons to see if they were interested in personal trainer certification courses for inmates.
Wow.
Terrible.
None of them were.
I'm Tim Rogers, and the worst entertainment-related job I ever had. I mean, I don't know. I worked at Target for like 8 years. I got paid like $7 an hour, and I paid for college with that. And I pushed carts in from the parking lot in the summer and the winter.
I worked at Target for 3 months. I couldn't last.
Oh, well, I guess you did better than me then. You got out.
We'll find out who you are in a second.
Yeah. Don't jump the gun. I'm Brandon Sheffield, and I don't think that my non-entertainment jobs were all that bad, really.
I mean, I don't think Target was horrible. It was just...
hard to remember what, I don't know, I guess the worst one was probably the construction job. The specific one where the foreman didn't like me, and I'm sure I've told this story before, but kept asking me to alternately dig this hole deeper, and then fill it back in, and then dig it again, and then... I had to dig it and fill it 3 times because he was like, "Oh, now it's just a little too high. You gotta dig." After we tamped it down with the tamper, he's like, "Oh, nope, gotta dig this trench one more time." So that was probably the worst.
That sucks, dude.
Also joining us this week is the Tarnished Kris Graft, who currently has no credits or honor to his name.
Yeah, I am tarnished. Worst non-entertainment related job was probably when I was during summer classes when I was in college. I was a telemarketer.
Oh shoot! Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, in Anderson, Indiana, just outside of Muncie, Indiana.
Oh, Anderson, dude!
Yeah, baby.
Did you ever go to La Chariata in Anderson?
No.
I'm so disappointed. What the heck?
I didn't familiar myself with the local cuisine there.
You didn't go to a delicious restaurant in Anderson, Indiana while you worked there?
I was in and out. I was just like, I got to get back to Muncie because it's
I picked a god-darn great restaurant that was open till 2 a.m. and existed during the entire window you could have possibly worked there, and you didn't go there.
Yeah.
My God.
No,
I could name something else about Anderson, Indiana, though my first one having failed so spectacularly. What's the point? Right? What's the point? I can't believe you didn't go to La Chariata.
It's an excuse to go back.
La Chas is what they all call it.
I'll go back. Fine.
I'll
go back. Yeah.
I don't know if it exists anymore, Jerry.
Well, I'll ask around about it.
What were you telemarketing?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we were selling cellular phones for WorldCom, and you're just calling people up and trying to sell them a phone. It was like,
do you want a phone that's different than the one you're talking on right now?
Yeah, and it was just really demoralizing because people would rightfully, say stuff like, get a real job, or like, I hate you.
Yeah. But, people trying to be like Jerry Seinfeld in that episode of Seinfeld where he tells the telemarketer, "Why don't I call you back later and we can talk about it then?"
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't like people calling you at all? People trying to get all Bugs Bunny-esque, going, "How would I call you at dinner and we continue this conversation?"
Yeah, we call that duck seasoning.
And, so you had to deal with that. I had to deal with a different, identical, aged redneck every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Asking me if anybody else had ever called it Target.
Oh.
Okay. Yeah. I had to deal with that. Okay. Oh, anybody? This is. Do I have the right place? I'm supposed to be at a Target. It's like, man. It's fancy. I thought there would be some fancy French joint. Oh, that's a joke. I love this place. I'm here all the time. Yeah, I know, dude.
Who do you think was the first person to say Target?
Yeah, I don't know who that was.
Have you ever accidentally worn? I've done this before on accident, like worn a red shirt
to Target.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
I'm going to tell you what. No. You know why? I have never, since the year 2001, I have never worn a red shirt.
Mm-hmm.
No joke.
Because of that Target experience.
Because of all that time at Target, I cannot wear a red shirt.
I had to zone, like, that's why I was just, zoning, right?
I know zoning. Yeah, moving, pulling stuff up to the front.
Yeah.
I love zoning. It's useful and it's a useful life experience.
It's the same reason I don't own any blue or black pants. That was all I was allowed to wear in school.
Or you could have just said you worked at Best Buy.
That's
and it
true.
would have been the same thing.
Wait, I got to talk about shirts.
Let's hear
for
it.
a second. Did I ever tell you all about how when I was working in construction, I wore my Rasputin staff shirts because those were the shirts that I had that I didn't care about, that it could get dirty. So I used to work at Rasputin Records. That's a record store that's out here. Store, tiny local chain. But then sometimes I would actually go to a Rasputin Records on my way home, like when the traffic was bad or just when I felt like it. I would go there, and then I would forget that I was wearing a Rasputin staff shirt that, covered with filth though it was, people would still be like, "Hey, you know where the something is?" And then I would just tell them where it was.
You might as
and
well
go about my business.
You might as well.
Yeah.
They'd be like, "Can you recommend any something for my little nephew?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, maybe he'd like this.
This piece of something.
Why not?"
Something.
Yeah, that happens.
But the staff got real confused. Those are who really got confused. The people actually working there. Then they would be like, "Hey, are you working here? You stocking this right now?" I'm like, "No, I'm just wearing this shirt. Sorry."
Oh man, yeah. I mean, that's a thing. That's a thing, man.
There's a Seinfeld where that happens, where Jerry is dressed up like somebody in the pharmacy. And then he gives somebody some bad medicine.
Advice.
Yeah, for Elaine's boss.
Mr. Pitt. Yeah, Mr. Pitt. And then Mr. Pitt fingers him as a conspirator later in that episode, resulting in Elaine being fired shortly after she had just been told she was placed in Mr. Pitt's will.
Well, this isn't a Seinfeld recap podcast. This is a video game podcast.
That's right.
Let's do it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Our first question comes from last week's winner, Andrés Coll, who asks, this April in 2022, Konami released Crime Site, directed by 428 Shibuya Scramble's Jiro Ishii.
Love that guy.
The game is best described as a social deduction / competitive murder mystery game where two or more players compete to try to stop or facilitate a murder. Playing it feels like if Cluedo and Among Us were in a relationship, and this was the result.
Among Us?
Unfortunately, it has released to no fanfare, and player counts on release are basically non-existent. Is this the final piece of evidence that Konami has fully ceased giving a damn about its games and developers?
Oh.
I would say yeah.
I would say no. It could always get worse.
There's a classic like journalism style question where there's just like a whole paragraph, and then the question is like yes or no.
Well, I mean, you're intended to discuss. I believe there have been.
No, I know, but it's funny.
I think, okay, so let's actually, if we're going to say, somebody says no, Jeffy, you said no, because it could always get worse.
Yeah.
Could always get worse. Though, do we accept that it's probably not going to get better? Like, that's question number one. It's not going to get better, right? So when did it reach the point where, in hindsight, we can say it was definitively concludable that it was not going to get better?
Metal Gear Solid 5.
MGS5 is an absolute one. Yeah. I guess MGS5 is it. The way they handled that whole thing.
Yeah.
PT, Silent Hills. You got Guillermo del Toro. You know, say what you will about the man's movies. I'd play a video game involving Guillermo del Toro. I actually like that guy's movies, whatever.
I don't like his
Shape
movies,
of Water,
but,
little bit weird. They're cool, man. You ever see Crimson Peak, dude? Crimson Peak is good. Do you see Crimson Peak, KG?
I saw it in the theater. Yeah.
It's a good movie, dude.
Yeah, it was good. I remember being...
It's a good film.
What's that? It's like
that Nightmare Alley, dude. You telling me you don't want that guy making a video game at your video game company with Hideo Kojima?
I want to make a
right?
video game.
Like, I don't know. That's kind of a good sign.
Didn't Konami they did an NFT thing. Maybe that was
they
at
did
which
some
the
sort of
Castlevania NFT garbage
But is the NFT thing more disappointing, for example, than them canceling this Silent Hills game and effectively pushing Kojima out of the
Silent
company?
Hill is more that's much more disappointing. Yeah.
It's It's befuddlingly disappointing that it happened the way it did, right?
Yeah.
I know. I was befuddled. I didn't. Yeah. I do have PT still on my.
Oh, I still got it.
PlayStation 4.
I got it on my PS4 Pro in my closet, which I can look at.
I know
right
someone
across
with a PT Cruiser also.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a car.
Sweet.
That is a car.
Yeah, the little convertible thing.
Very nice. As my buddy Chris Ford says, so his mom was like, I asked her how she liked driving the PT Cruiser, and she's like, it's a car that really makes a statement, I think.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, that statement is follow me home and murder my family.
Yeah.
I always thought that was really funny because it doesn't actually really make any sense to me. But
no, I think there's about 100 punchy statements that car makes.
sure.
You know, this I don't know, the wood paneled ones. You ever see those?
You know, I saw some modders were working on a high definition remake of PT, but all I have is the PTSD.
Nice.
Oh, very good. Nice.
Oh.
Very good.
So I've gone on record as saying that I think this current Konami era is like the most interesting they've been since, I don't know, since their peak, since the, let's say, the mid 2000s or whatever.
It's in the mid 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Okay.
Late 90s to early 2000s, probably.
I've got some complex and fresh opinions about exactly when the heyday of Konami was. We could probably get into that some other time.
Yeah,
I
let's do it. We could have a best of Konami episode.
I can ballpark Konami down to like a 3-year span. That was the most interesting work maybe anybody has ever done in video games.
I think that this period where they're flopping out stuff that some of them seem to care about and others among them do not seem to care about, and which they are not promoting, is I think it's quite interesting. It's definitely like...
It's interesting, to be sure.
And some of those games are like, I don't know, there's some real nonsense coming out.
I have been playing, now that I think about it, the Castlevania Advanced Collection lately. That's nice.
That doesn't count, but...
I have every Game Boy Advance game ever on my Mister. And if I pick up this Xbox One Elite controller right here, I can be playing them on my 77-inch TV, and they're real good. And it's better
no
than...
Contra Rogue Core, that's for sure.
Yeah, Contra Rogue Core is a weird one. That Castlevania one is a weird one.
It's a weird one.
So, I mean, 428 is a beautiful game. Has anybody here played that game? I played that game.
I intended to, and then I just didn't. Absolutely
incredulous game. If you're missing out on anything like vintage Chunsoft related stuff that's been translated recently-ish and is purchasable on your Steam and whatnot, all of those games, man, just a one game renaissance right there. I have a lot of stuff to say about it, but let's not bother. Let's talk about Konami getting the guy to make an interesting thing that nobody cares about. Crime Site. I was only tangentially aware of Crime Site, though I guess it is cool. London, 2075, a time where serious crimes can be predicted thanks to an analytical program developed using data harvested online. The result, a 90% drop in such criminal activity across the globe, until, that is, the system predicts a crime that could irrevocably plunge the world into chaos. This alarming discovery leaves the system's architects little choice but to act. They pour their resources into developing an AI whose sole purpose is to investigate and prevent this apocalyptic crime.
Minority Report.
Okay, we are out of time, but Tim,
is Tom Cruise in it?
Tim, before we go on, I want to guess your Konami window after going through their, I don't know what the game equivalent of a filmography is. There's got to be a word for that.
Let's hear it.
Is it 1995 to 1997?
No.
All right. Then we'll have to find out the truth at a later date.
Guess again 1 month from now.
I get one guess a month. I like this game. All right. My next question is mainly for Kris Graft, but I would invite Tim and Brandon to speculate as well.
KG.
What horrible thing did you do to get fired from game developer?
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Famously fired.
Yeah. I don't have an answer for that. I would love to talk about on record the reasons behind my
departure.
sudden ejection. No, I did
let's
leave
make it
voluntarily.
clear, he did not get fired.
Yeah, I didn't really
He did not get fired.
Yeah. I punched my boss, and that didn't go over well.
You were overheard in a KFC. You were caught on a hot mic saying, "I just don't think developing video games is cool."
Gotta turn off that mic when you go to the bathroom.
Someone TikToked it. They said, "I think this is the EIC of GDDC," and it just went viral, mega viral among the tweens and the Zoomers.
Then I was ousted
for disparaging your loyal fan base.
Canceled me
publicly. Yeah, I was avoiding that word on meticulous purpose.
Another victim claimed by cancel culture.
Cancel
Chris,
culture.
I don't think game development is cool craft.
I just don't think developing video games is that cool. I don't know. No, were you fired for using the office printer to smoke a brisket? Is that why you're trying to cram a whole globe of beef into the ink cartridge?
I mean, it was actually a rack of spare ribs, but yeah. And it was a fax machine, but yeah.
You got to do what you got to. When you got to go, you got to go.
In your defense, it wasn't making any faxes. What else were you supposed to do with
them?
They
call them spare ribs, but I feel like the animals miss them.
Yeah.
Well, usually they're dead.
Yeah.
After they take the usually. Or don't they kill the animal first?
Yes.
Before they take the ribs out?
Yeah, that's. I mean,
you ever smoke a full cage? You ever smoke a full cage, bro?
Yeah.
A full rib cage. I mean, you ever?
Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts about what it's like trying to run a media business right now, especially a niche one that's B2B. But I'm not going to get into all that necessarily. But it's hard, and it makes people insane.
Yeah, I mean, I had to get out of it. I had to leave. I couldn't stay anymore, and you stayed for a full 10 years after that. So didn't get better in the interim.
At least you got rich, though, right?
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you get out of there with what's you worth? 9-10 million?
Yeah, it's more pushing 11 now.
That's
it's really,
with that golden parachute you got.
Yeah,
that's what they always say about game journalism. Make your first 10 million, then get out.
Oh man. Somebody hating on me in one of my YouTube comments, I love this, by the way, was like, how is this guy talking about wanting to buy a new computer like it's a big deal? I Googled him and his net worth is $5.6 million, right? And I was like, what? And I was like, it was the greatest lol I got from reading a YouTube comment, and I Googled it, and there is a website that does report my net worth at $5.6 million.
Wow. Tim, just give me one. Give me one of those.
I don't think the musician Tim Rogers has $5.6 million.
No, he's worth $11.4 million because I saw both of us. You're gonna Google it? 10 million, 11 million. You just said 11 million. You just said 11 million. Basically, what happened was, in order for my net worth to be reported at $5.6 million, was I think the website took my Wikipedia entry and my years active as a journalist, and then it took the Patreon number and multiplied it by all that time.
Oh, wow.
I think is how it came up with that number, which is hilarious because I never got paid a goddarn dollar for anything I wrote about video games. I'm going to put an asterisk on here, until 2017, except...
I'm not finding my net
Kris
worth
Graft.
online. Yeah.
Except from Kris Graft.
I found Kris Jenner's net worth.
That's probably not bad.
I'm going to paste my net worth here, but give a guess as to what you think it is before...
is this your reported net worth?
This is my reported... It's the top Google result.
Oh, I love this.
I'm going to say $10.
Okay, all right.
45 million.
Graft, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna say $800.
Okay, what did you say, Tim?
I'm gonna say $2 million.
You're the closest. I'm
$36.7 million?
with a 99% confidence.
Oh, that is so good. PeopleAI.com.
They got me all right.
According to Wikipedia, Brandon Sheffield was born on August 15th, 1990.
Yeah, they gave me 9 more years of life, which is nice.
God, that rules, dude.
I was born in 81.
Good for you.
So,
Good for you. All right.
That is so absolutely wild. I love talking about. I love this joke about net worth. People believe this though, right?
Yeah.
Like people like literally believe this.
God, I want $36 million.
Brandon Sheffield, better known by the family name Brandon Sheffield, is a popular journalist.
But it's like even if my Patreon money had been multiplied by 12 by 20, right? I still need money to eat and live and travel and work and buy equipment. It's not like the money's just all going into a money bin.
Right.
These weird websites with these weird algorithms that are just making these brain dead calculations, and then people are just flat out believing it. We haven't learned that 99% of what you see on the internet is completely shrilly ridiculous. No, people believe it. People believe it, man.
All right.
$36.7 million.
I got a video game question for you. Which
Let's hear it.
non-playable characters deserve a promotion to playable characters?
Oh, interesting.
Ooh.
Interesting.
All right. NPCs.
NPCO.
NPCO, not
NPCO.
Cortana.
Yeah, and PCO Del Toro.
I feel like somebody already wants to make some sort of a Cortana video game, and they shouldn't bother doing it. So, not Cortana.
See, NPC is too broad of a term now, because NPC just means any player that the character doesn't control,
Mhm.
right? So it's so like Cortana's an NPC, but she's like I think she's a character.
Yeah, I guess she's kind of a character. Okay, like the guy that stands at the front of the gate and is like, "Welcome to our town. Welcome to the village."
Well,
So I mean, there have been like Level 5 had their little game about being a weapon shop owner,
yeah.
which is weird because it's just like making a whole game out of. One thing I increasingly learn is I play a whole lot more video games than I dissect and analyze video games for a living all day, every day, is that Dragon Quest sure did a lot of stuff that other games later got all the credit. Other games much later got all the credit for. Anyway, there's a whole segment in Dragon Quest IV where you're just the owner of a weapon shop. The Torneko segment. It's very Papers, Please. It's little bare bones, but it's a whole segment. That was god darn 1990, right? Mm-hmm. So that's cool from one thing. That it's integrated into a bigger RPG is one thing. So anyway, there has been a weapon shop game that Level 5 did, like a whole just a weapon shop. I think I would love to see someone make a video game about the guy who says the name of the town. I think that would be a real good. The guy who's just standing in the front of the town in an RPG who tells you the name of the town. Just the story of a man who names the town and is then paid a salary to name it, to stand there and tell people what the name of the town is.
To be that passionate about something so specific, I mean, that's just kind of like the career dream also.
I think I know what it is. The town was originally named one other thing, and this guy has taken it upon himself to create this publicity campaign to rename the town his preferred name. And by telling enough people what your wanted name of the town is, people eventually come to know it as that town. So
it would probably turn into a Tulip-like game at some point, I imagine. That would make sense. Or what about a game about the guy in the first weapon shop of every JRPG for the entirety of the 1990s, who tells you that just buying a weapon isn't enough. You have to equip it. There's a guy in every JRPG town who tells you just buying a weapon not enough. You've got to make sure to equip it via the equipment menu. Like, why is he so passionate about that?
That's what happens to me when I go to.
He's seen it happen too many times.
When I go to
when
I go to Dick's Sporting Goods, and I like buy a hockey stick, and then I'm leaving, and then someone at the door reminds me that I have to hold the hockey stick.
Gotta hold that in your hands.
Swing it. Yeah, or else it'll be ineffective.
Yeah.
They say the OSHA regulations are written in blood, so it's clearly a case of a lot of people having died not doing that.
I like the NPC. Like one of the ones I remember the most, was in Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and I was this is how I remember it. It was probably a little different than this, but I'm like walking through the woods, and then seemingly just out of nowhere, some guy or gal's like freaking out because there's
I'm
ghosts,
ready for something
there's
good
ghosts
here.
in the basement, and their house is on it. It's like, can you go check that out? And then but I wonder what was up with that person. You don't I don't know. What was it like living in a house with ghosts in the basement? You just happen to find an adventurer out in the woods, and then
You're just waiting for an adventurer to come along to help you.
Yeah.
Until then, you just got ghosts.
It's okay to have ghosts for a little while.
There's the famous NPC in Red Dead Redemption 2 who's like shoeing his horse in the woods. He's like putting new shoes on his horse, and you walk up and talk to him, and he goes, "Oh, I didn't see you there." And then the horse kicks him in the head and kills him. Do you guys know about this? I'm sorry if I spoiled it.
We've spoken about it on this show.
Very good NPC.
Now I've done seen everything.
Sorry if I. Oh yeah, there's that happens a lot too. A lot of good NPCs in Red Dead Redemption 2 who could easily have their own video games or spin-offs.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to play a game where, I mean, people talk about, like, playing in the city where Batman lives or whatever, and you're just a regular person, Batman comes and goes. But I would like to have one where you are the NPCs in the Yakuza games, where you're just like, I've gotten myself into this predicament where I need to trade this plate for a hairpiece, but someone has made off with it.
Yeah.
You just play as those people who are
That's
having...
a great suggestion. Like there's that. I think it was Yakuza 0, where somebody was trying to direct an obviously thriller-inspired music video, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah.
That would be a good game on its own.
If you've played the game Judgment, you know they can just make a game about any character.
I think that's the point.
over there at that studio.
And I've already talked about it a little bit, but the Haruka section of Yakuza 5 really just proved to me that yes, you can make a big ol' open world game with main story stuff and side quests and things to do around town that doesn't have any fighting in it whatsoever.
Yeah.
And it can still be fun. So like they should absolutely just do it, man. Just do it.
Let's talk about negative status effects. Do they make a game more interesting, or are they just annoying?
I think they're mostly annoying, but they can be good sometimes.
A lot of times they're pretty annoying, yeah. I feel like a lot of early RPG designers went hard on them in the 90s, and I feel like Final Fantasy IV is a good example of a game that's just completely a mess with negative status effects. You can be turned into a frog. You can be made tiny. You can be poisoned. You can be poisoned with a different type of poison that's a little bit faster and worse. You can be poisoned with a different type of poison that's like really fast and horrible. There's the status effect where you'll die. When the timer counts down from 5 to 0, you get 5 actions before you die.
Western RPGs do like all that stuff all the time. Still, like particularly the Bethesda games like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, which they are annoying. Like if you drink a bottle of beer or something, you'll get negative, but then it'll also balance out. You've got like more courage or something, whatever it is. I don't know. A lot of times I don't even like notice any of that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the problem. You either wind up, so much of the time, like there are good ways to do it, but so much of the time you either wind up with something that is merely annoying and a reason for an item to exist, like an item that counters it, so that you have to carry more stuff and buy more things and have more things to collect, so you can have this anti-whatever negative status effect vial on you. And then the other way it goes is that it winds up being a non-factor and you sort of ignore it, like in games where it makes one stat go down and another stat go up. It's like, I'll just walk it off. Or even in the Yakuza games when you get drunk and it kind of negatively affects your status, but you can just ignore it until it goes
So
away.
they're interesting if it's designed so that you're making some kind of intentional trade-off, I think. And I'm just thinking of, I've been playing a lot of Loop Hero again lately, and with something like that, it's like, if I equip this item, like my attack speed is gonna go down, but I'm also gonna be able to summon an extra skeleton. So then you switch them out because it's a little bit different than negative status effects.
I think that game works because it's like you're making a direct choice about in which area you want to try to deal damage. Are you going for damage per second, or are you going for like big hit? It's all damage per second.
Yeah, that just comes down to the realm of interesting choices at that point, where it's just you're just weighing your pluses and minuses and pros and cons. I think a lot of these. So I played Cyberpunk 2077. I played the heck out of that game, and I just never noticed any of the negative statuses. And there are so many items that fix negative statuses or grant positive statuses, and I never used any of them. And the game, you get over encumbered with equipment all the time, but all of the items pertaining to statuses weigh 0 because and that illuminates.
I hate over encumberment,
man.
That illuminates to me that there's
you can see the band-aids there.
Yeah, so many things about, and it's not just a band-aid on Cyberpunk 2077. I think it's an example of a lot of these Western RPGs where it's they're made up. No offense to the Elder Scrolls games, they're basically just a big ball of Katamari of Band-Aids past a certain point. It's all Band-Aids all the way down. A lot of times the designer takes a big swing and then it just ends up getting just kind of sanded down, right?
Yeah.
So like a good example, I just mentioned the game Judgment earlier. Judgment, your guy is a lawyer who is disgraced because of an incident. A guy he gets off of a murder charge ends up committing a murder immediately after getting free. He is a disgraced lawyer who becomes a private detective, and he is also a practitioner of drunken boxing, right? He fights in a very heavily Chinese-influenced style, and when you drink alcohol in the game, you become more agile, and your attacks deal more damage at the expense of, you're a little more bumbly, and the camera's wobbly and such, right?
And you get into more fights also.
Yeah, and you get into more fights, which is a really cool aspect.
Oh, yeah.
But this actually just makes me, it's so well implemented that it makes me want more. Did this guy become an alcoholic after being disgraced as a lawyer? Why isn't that more referenced in the plot, right? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Does he have a problem with the drinking? So it ends up, you end up getting a well-implemented status effect, and it just kind of makes you you want a little bit more out of the story.
All right.
And it is addressed a little bit.
These games that are all about really pure systems and choices where you pretty much know exactly what's going to happen are getting more popular now, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Like Loop Hero or Vampire Survivors or whatever.
I've been playing that too.
Games where it's really just like, I understand what choice I'm making, and it will affect things in this way. And I guess the critical point is that you then have to make the game actually show you that change so that you can feel it, because the game can say that the numbers are going up in this way or that, but it doesn't actually, it's not palpable in any way.
Okay, it's time for an improv zone. Before the show, I gave all three of you a link to the full message system from the video game Elden Ring. And this is where that comes into play.
Oh, Elden Ring.
In this improv zone, the three of you are running against each other for public office and are about to have a debate. However, all three of you were electrocuted while playing Elden Ring last night, and now you can only talk using the vocabulary of the game's message system. I'm going to ask you some standard debate questions, and you have to answer them the best you can in your limited ability.
Okay.
I don't know that this is going to be possible. This is like, first of all, I haven't played Elden Ring, and I know that I was able to look at this thing, but like, I gotta on the fly.
Yeah, let's try it.
Look at this chart.
Brandon, let me just tell you, in Elden Ring, you might walk to the end of a corridor where there is a ladder, just a very narrow corridor, flanked by a few scant torches. And in the dimness at the end of the hall, you see a ladder. You walk to the ladder goes up. There's a message on the ground in front of the ladder.
Ugh.
You read it, and it says, "Could this be up?" So that's the level it's on. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's very
Like,
funny.
I was following this little trail of messages, and then it was like, keep going. It's like, next. And then I stand at the edge of a cliff, and then it just said something like good job or something. And then like a huge like metal ball just comes from behind me and just kills me. Yeah. So
That's the worst.
people use it.
That's
as,
hilarious.
Like, it was. Yeah, I've got it recorded somewhere. Yeah, but
First, I'd like to hear your opening statements.
oh gosh,
My opening statement: liar ahead.
try jumping.
Liar ahead is what I would say of my opponents. And I would also say to Brandon Sheffield, be wary of sniper.
Okay, well, I will say, because I'm a politician here, so I'm going to say, first off, healing.
Oh, excellent.
Very nice. Kris Graft, what do you have to say? Try jumping?
Yeah, try jumping.
I like that.
First off, sniper. That's my opening line. First off, sniper.
Wait. First off, healing. Try high road.
Aw.
Oh, no.
Oh wow.
First off,
Well,
sniper.
we'll see how that goes.
Still no healing. That's mine.
Here's my first question for you. What will you do to support a vibrant economy in our area?
Oh, visions of fat coin purse. Very good. That's all you need to know.
Time for treasure chest.
Yeah.
Kris Graft?
Out of stamina.
All right, fair enough. Okay, here's our next one. Please explain why you do or do not think it is important to reduce the role of money in elections.
Oh.
Praise the lovable sort.
Yeah, that would be ideal, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Behold necessary item. Behold precious item.
Didn't expect Laggardly sort.
That's a good point, Kris Graft.
Behold, laggardly sort. I'm pointing at my opponents when I say that. I'm just gesticulating wildly.
Offer beating to a pulp.
Nice.
Behold, laggardly sort.
In light of escalating threats, what measures do you support to address our national security?
Let there be sniper. Let there be archer. Let there be monster.
Why is it always attacking?
Some strong arguments from all of you. And now we have to wrap up, so I'd like to hear some closing statements to really drive your platform home.
Time for jumping off.
If only I had an ill-omened creature.
Beware of rum. I did it.
You did it!
Very good.
We all did
Wait,
it.
my final comment is, could this be a dog? That's the most common Elden Ring joke.
That's what you really got to do to court the popular vote. Let's hear on forums.insertcredit.com who you thought made the best argument. We'll be right back after a quick break.
First off, sniper.
Why is it always fingers?
If I knew these a little better, I could have had a little more fun.
Yeah,
with it.
we might do it again in the future.
The message system in Elden Ring is quite fun.
Yeah.
It's fun in all those games, but
It's fun to
it's
do that
especially
kind of
fun because Elden Ring's got the millions and millions and millions of players. So there's like even more of them. You're guaranteed to see a bunch of real fun ones.
I could have used the word dastard.
I should have said try two hands.
All right, welcome back to Insert Credit. It's time to take a question from the Dirtbag.
DB!
You can submit a question in this fashion by going to patreon.com/insertcredit, throwing us at least $3 a month, but we'll leave that particular level of generosity up to you. But when you do that, you get access to a form that allows you to submit questions of your own. You also get periodic bonus episodes every month and some other cool things once in a while. We like to keep you surprised. Our question this week comes from Gaagaagiins, who asks, Epic has introduced a mode in Fortnite which removes building, which has apparently been received quite positively. First of all, what the heck? Isn't that the point of Fortnite? It's just called Night now? Second of all, my actual question, what are some other games that would be improved by the removal of their killer feature, and why?
Oh, man. Okay, so I have a whole lot of thoughts about the building in Fortnite. The building in Fortnite was intended for a mode of game similar to the games like Orcs Must Die. Recently, there was a game announced that I saw on Twitter called Sentry. Everybody look into Sentry. Real good game. Looks like it scratches the itch. The tower defense meets rock solid old school style FPS that Fortnite originally was supposed to be. It was supposed to fill that particular niche. You build stuff and then you defend the stuff. It's a Gears of War horde mode with a preparation phase. It was a nice, beautiful little simple game design, and the mode that it launched with was quite nice and quite interesting. It even had resource gathering and stuff. Then they shoehorned in Battle Royale, called it Fortnite Battle Royale. Then they eventually removed the phrase Battle Royale from the title Fortnite Battle Royale, and it just became Fortnite. And now it is just Night. The building always felt like a weird appendix, a vestigial feature. And people got good at it. People used it to their advantage. You would see viral video clips on Twitter showing people with virtuoso building skills, building whole massive Eiffel Tower tall hobo shanties around themselves in less time than it takes their opponent to fire a shotgun twice. Like, people have these keyboard fingers going absolutely noodle wild. However, it always was a pretty stupid feature, and the shooting in the game is really good, man. The shooting, moving, jumping, the level design, geometry's all god darn top of the class stuff. Game looks like a god darn, like a Burning Man for less cool people, right? The costumes look like Halloween store dumpster diving results, as I believe I've called it. There's a lot of nonsense that is repugnant visually and artistically about Fortnite, but the shooting stuff is rock solid. So you take the goddarn building out of it, and I think you got yourself a pretty goddarn good video game, if a bit philosophically conflicted. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
And so what are we removing from other games now is the question.
I guess.
Take rolling out of Elden Ring.
No.
That'd be...
I'll take the ability to call donkeys dogs out of Elden Ring.
That wouldn't make it better.
That would... Well, no, I know. That would make it much worse, is why I'm saying it's difficult to answer this question. You ever call a donkey a dog in Elden Ring and then get it appraised positively? It's a beautiful feeling. It was the first message I ever left in Elden Ring.
I don't think I've ever left a message.
Oh, it's fun. Give it a shot. There's an item that does it. It's impossible to tell which item it is.
Yeah, it's the finger thingy.
It's somebody's wise and curled finger.
I haven't taken... I've appraised.
Oh, and the message leavers probably appreciate it greatly. So
yeah.
Oh, here's one. Take out the combat from Death Stranding. Is my opinion, and just have it be weirdo delivery man, and just get the combat out of there, and then I think it's better.
You can though. You just look at the map and the weather charts, and you just avoid the place where there's going to be the
except
stuff.
For if you stop playing it right when they introduce the combat, because it's very annoying and they force you into it during that time.
Yeah, well, they force you into it to indicate the stakes, I suppose, and then afterward you can you can end up taking like 4 hours to do a mission that combat would just engaging in some combat would have it over with in like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
Remove the combat from X seems like a rich vein for this idea. There's got to be a game where that fits.
I still think it would be better.
I never got to the combat part of Death Stranding.
Well, it's really bad.
It takes a little while.
Yeah, I could not connect with that game.
Death Stranding is a hyper interesting game. The combat is great when it opens up.
I disagree.
Oh, wait, how far did you get in it? Did you beat it?
Sorry, I missed the second half of your... I spoke before the second half of your sentence because I did not get to it opening up.
Oh, the combat... Oh, yeah. So when the combat opens up and you can build guns and trucks, and there's all these weird roving bands of like package snatching thieves who worship delivery services. as some sort of religious cult out there, and you got to deal with those people trying to steal your packages, and there's little camps to raid, and it becomes a weird, really weird Metal Gear Solid 5 kind of feeling. It's pretty good.
It sounds like what I don't want from that game, but...
Well, I mean, but again, it's all 100% avoidable. You just don't deal with those people. You don't have to go there. Man, you'd really love the end game where once you beat it, you just are a delivery man.
Yes, I probably would.
Like, why not enjoy doing some deliveries and building some roads and building some structures to help people?
Just do that one. Just give me that one. I think there are a lot of games that would be improved for me by the removal of their stealth aspects.
Well, let's put it this way. So when people like Brandon Sheffield blanket dismiss stealth aspects in video games, I feel like they have been pre-goblinized by awful stealth, which is extremely prevalent. There are way too many games, and there are way too many video games released around the time of Metal Gear Solid 1 that thought, not fighting dudes? We can give that a shot. And there's like a mandatory stealth nut kick, kneecap, simultaneous attack that happens like an hour into the game.
With instant failure states and such.
Zelda Ocarina of Time has a mandatory stealth segment.
Yeah.
Like when you have to go visit Princess Zelda at the beginning of the game, you have to like avoid these stupid guards who and it's like so hard because the geometry is so poorly defined. The collision is all weird. It's this awful pre-rendered camera angle, a holdover from when they didn't know the game was going to be full 3D. Bad stealth. I would say the worst stealth in video games is when it's one level, like a specific level.
Yeah. I mean, it winds up getting into escort mission territory where it's just like, we need something else to do here, so let's half-heartedly put this in. But, I mean, I believe that it's possible that there's good stealth stuff out there, but I think a lot of games would benefit from its removal.
All right.
There's good stuff, like Arcane.
Dishonored is good stealth. Yeah, is that what you're going to say?
We're getting into a different topic here.
Yeah. Like, you can't take no stealth out of Dishonored. That stealth rules. You don't have to use it.
Right.
I mean, it's purely optional, but it's just beautiful when it's in there. I wouldn't want to take parkour out of Assassin's Creed. I wouldn't want to take stealth out of Dishonored. I wouldn't want to take stealth out of Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed has great stealth because it's kindergarten. It's just like, these guys are so stupid.
Yeah.
And you're just running up behind them, and you just have infinite one-hit kills that you can just catch anyone slightly unawares and knife in the ear.
You know, I'm betting as far as like taking out certain aspects of a feature of a game to make it better. There's got to be some games with a time limit. If that was taken out, and you could just goof off for an inordinate amount of time.
I mean,
there's plenty like that.
Time limits are pretty weak in games in general.
Speaking of time limits, our time limit on this question is long over.
Oh, this is a good one, though. This is a good one.
I'm about to issue you into an even better one because, Kris Graft, I'm so glad you're here because it's time for our 8th trip this season to Violence Island. This is the segment where listeners on forums.insertcredit.com can suggest matchups between video game and video game adjacent figures, and we subsequently determine which of them would win in a fight against each other. We pair the winners off against those winners until we're left with one champion at the end of the bracket, who is then banned from competition in the island forever. We'll find out.
Forever.
Our first match this session is Parappa the Rapper versus 50 Cent of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
Well, there's kind of no context. No contest there. Parappa does not have a gun.
He knows karate.
Parappa's funny.
Yeah,
he does.
I'm going to go ahead and admit it. I hate to do this, but that little boy dog is not very good at karate.
It's all in the mind.
He does the...
I mean, what does he learn it from an onion? What do onions know about karate?
Learn karate from an onion. First of all, dogs will die if they eat a tiny piece of an onion, right?
Yeah.
That's literally true. Grapes as well. It's two weird things, two weird tricks.
It depends on the size of the dog, but
Yeah, well, my dog would eat like a little dice, like a little piece of onion that falls off of a Taco Bell bean burrito. That would kill him.
my dog just ate a 2-inch square piece of dark chocolate off the table that I shouldn't have left there.
That's better than the real chocolate.
Man, that's nothing.
He was fine, but he was pretty buzzy.
My miniature schnauzer ate an entire full tin of Christmas fudge, chocolate fudge, and
oh yeah,
we didn't realize it until he threw it all up.
There you go.
Dogs have good vomit mechanisms, dude.
So
it is an evolutionary advantage of a dog.
He was fine and lived to 16 years old. But yeah, that's a lot of chocolate.
My mom's dog ate a whole bag of chocolate-covered espresso beans, like the size of a coffee bag.
Oh, shoot.
But then she also ate an entire bottle of Tums, including the label.
Shoot.
Oh, no.
That's just what kind of dog is that?
This is a Border Collie Saluki mix.
Oh, those are beautiful dogs.
It's a goat.
Beautiful dogs.
Well, I think 50 Cent is smart enough to avoid eating anything that would kill him.
This is what I would say. If I can, in Parappa's defense, sure.
I think he's a good boy.
Fiddy's got, the gun and stuff, but all Parappa the Rapper has to do is turn sideways, and he's a really small target.
That's true.
That's true. He's a thin.
Yeah.
He's a skinny dog. He's a skinny puppy.
Is he going to if he was gonna, beat the heck with using karate out of fit, maybe he doesn't need to do that. He can wrap. He's made of paper. He can roll them up.
But here's the problem. 50 Cent will roll him up and smoke him.
That's true.
All right, Fiddy wins.
Fiddy wins. You know what? That logic holds.
Rappa was a good boy, but now he's
been smoked.
a good boy in the dirt. Yeah.
Our next match is Mario versus Majima.
Whoa, Mario is here.
Yeah, it's Mario time.
Well, one of them is voiced by Chris Pratt, and the other one is voiced by Mark Hamill. So say what you will of that. Do you all not play Yakuza on the original PlayStation 2?
I knew that he was voiced by Mark Hamill, but I did not actually.
An incredible performance.
I should listen to it because I'm imagining the Joker now as Majima. I think.
People love making fun of the dub of that first Yakuza game, but it's actually real good. I know it has a lot of the F word in it, but
yes.
You must understand how template all Yakuza slang is. It is very repetitive, dude. Very repetitive.
Yeah. But it was pretty funny to hear
a supercut of it.
Our buddy Chris Woodard. Well, I just heard him describing it to me.
Yeah.
And it was just like a cavalcade of the same swear word over and over.
Love it.
But he was talking about it in a positive light, as in that added to the ridiculousness of it. So.
Yeah.
Would Mario be able to survive hearing a swear word?
Hearing Mark Hamill say the F word?
That might kill him.
He would probably shrivel up. Yeah.
But at the same time, Mario is gleefully burning people alive in lava, and he's got all these kinds of suits and stuff. I know you can't kill Majima, even though every single edition of Yakuza, they're like,
he's dead.
Kiryu, I'm sorry to tell you, Majima's dead. And everyone takes it so seriously every time, every freaking time. It's
so much.
Okay, is Majima dead this time? Has Haruka been kidnapped this time? It's the answer is always yes.
If you were a writer, would you ever kill off Majima? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's the real. We're approaching this exercise from a fiction writer's perspective, whereas death happens to Mario all the time, falling down bottomless pits.
Yeah.
Majima can't die.
Yeah, I liked how in Yakuza 5, because it had become so ridiculous for Kiryu to believe that Majima was dead anymore. They had it be the other guy, the big guy who does the big attacks, whose head is shaved. I forget what his name is actually.
Bubby Big Boy.
I don't know, whoever the big guy is. They had him believe that Majima was dead, so that we could have somebody credibly believe that he had died.
There's a sucker born every minute, but eventually,
it's a tough one because I think Mario's got all those suits. He's got all kinds of different things, and Majima can't die. But can Mario die either? Really?
Really?
I don't know. This is a hard one for me.
Mario's got all them extra lives. He basically invented the idea of getting. Well, he didn't invent the idea of getting extra lives, so he might as well have.
I mean, Mario surely could take a baseball bat to the head.
Yeah, but he would shrink, and then he would die. He can only take 2 hits.
That is how it works.
Mario can only take 2 hits. Majima can just kind of punch. Majima can and will and does just punch dudes for about 45 minutes.
If he punches Mario twice, it's over.
While you're just checking your email.
And he does do a lot of slicing with his little boken or whatever.
I think Majima.
Yeah, I think it's Majima.
Yeah.
It's not a boken. Okay.
So, I mean, Majima has a bad depth perception, but Mario is mostly known for his 2D games anyway,
Yeah.
so it doesn't really matter.
That's fair.
It kind of evens out in the end. The depth perception is a consideration. I forgot to bring that up.
Our next match is Lester the Unlikely versus Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh no, that's the ultimate matchup. Lester the Unlikely versus Leisure Suit Larry. Lord, man. Well, they're both they're losers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right? So I mean, nobody can actually win this fight. Is the fun
I feel
part.
like Leisure Suit Larry is more of a scumbag, and so he's more likely to kick Lester the Unlikely in nuts.
I was gonna say he's Leisure Suit Larry's more likely to have a switchblade in his pocket that he never told the game designers about. If you know what
Whereas
I mean.
Lester is unlikely to have that.
Lester, that was where I was going. Yeah, I was trying to use the word likely. That's pretty good.
Pretty
right?
good. Thank you for leading me there.
And then Lester is unlikely to have anything. I've played Lester the Unlikely, and let me tell you, not a good game at all.
Lester the Unlikable.
So Lester the Unlikely's dead.
Oh.
He got slashed. I
He's
think
in the permanently deceased.
Leisure Suit Larry is he's a Mario-sized individual in real life, right? Like talking like a New Donk City human.
Yeah.
Like as Mario is to a New Donk City human, that's Leisure Suit Larry to Lester the Unlikely, right?
Yeah.
He's a little guy. He's basically a Sanrio character coexisting amongst humanity. So he's going to slash him right, the femoral artery. And that's, you open that up and a man's dead
That's it
in
for you.
seconds, right?
like Leisure Suit Larry might also be completely just riddled with sexually transmitted diseases.
True.
With
Syphilis, yes.
Let's say it's syphilis.
He canonically has syphilis, and he's blind in one eye, just like Majima, but he doesn't wear an eye patch.
Yeah.
So the depth perception battle is going to come up.
He might fight in the finals for all we know.
And then he's like in the late stages of he has advanced stage syphilis.
Tertiary syphilis, yes.
Yeah, just moving like he's really stiff and moving like a robot. He's confused. Does have a switchblade.
Yeah, it's squirreled away in his polyester pocket. Yeah.
You get enough STDs, they make you stronger. They start to take over your functionality, and like a parasite.
Yeah.
It's like the T-virus.
It's a real shame that Lester the Unlikely's dead, because I would have liked to see him go up against Cheap Poke Ralph.
Too bad.
From Cheap Poke Ralph, no Daibo.
Lester the Unlikely has joined Untitled Goose in the Violence Island graveyard. It's time for our next match.
He's deep underground.
Colonel Volgin versus Pikachu.
Oh.
I don't remember who Colonel Volgin is.
Oh, that's because you don't like stealth games, dude.
Yeah, he's from Metal Gear Solid 3.
You don't know about the Shago Hod.
I don't know play this.
Yeah, those games are good, dude.
Versus who? Detective Pikachu?
No, just the regular
Just
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
I think like Ash's Pikachu.
Ash is the Hey You Pikachu?
Pika-Pee. Hey me Pikachu.
Well, I mean, Colonel Volgin. I don't know, man.
Colonel Volgin sounds like he's probably got some guns and whatnot.
He's got a billion guns, dude.
Also known as Man on Fire.
Yeah.
And Pikachu, he's only got he or she or it. I don't know if does Pikachu have a gender?
Pikachu's a boy.
Pikachu's a boy. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ash's Pikachu's a boy. Pikachus can be boys or girls.
You can identify the sex of a Pikachu by the shape of its tail.
Oh yeah, that's right.
If the
Will ladies have little
Yeah,
hearts
a lady
or something
Pikachu has a
stupid?
heart-shaped tail.
Yeah,
Of course.
that's it.
Stupid.
It's got to be Volgin.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, Pikachu can do some stuff, but Volgin's got.
I'm looking at this render of Volgin right now.
Pikachu's just a
and
rat.
He's holding a missile launcher like a like you might hold a Dyson vacuum, and he's pointing it.
Yeah, but Pikachu, he's got agility, he's got quick attack.
Casually.
Yeah, right.
But Colonel Volgin casually brandishes mass destructive armaments as one might a regular giftable, holiday giftable appliance, right?
Yeah.
Like a Dyson.
Yeah.
Those make great gifts.
He's just got like bullets between his. He's making a fist, and he's got bullets in between each knuckle there. Badass.
I think Pikachu could dodge a rocket launcher pretty easily.
Yelling Pika as he does so.
Including the blast of the rocket.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, there's gonna be splash damage.
Have you ever seen how big the blast of a rocket is? I don't think so. Also, I'm just looking at pictures, and it looks like this Volgin fella can electrocute people
That's
himself.
true.
He has electric car.
What's electricity gonna do to Volgin from Pikachu? Probably not very much.
Whereas bullets could still affect Pikachu.
Ineffective. It would be very ineffective.
Yeah,
bullets could.
Volgin also has all sorts of weapons, and Pokemon who aren't like of the Mewtwo variety, who are not of like the creepy variety that's like, what is this supposed to be? Like giant legendary sort of like Ultraman sized Pokemon, like those ones I don't really, what is that going to do against a human, really? Like one of those sheep Pokemon, what's that going to do?
Right.
Just kick that thing in the head a couple times. You know, I mean, even a casual grandma could probably end that thing. Just get a hammer.
All right,
out of
I
the
guess
pantry.
Volgin goes on to the semifinals.
Get a hammer out of the pantry.
Moving back to the start, we got 50 Cent versus Majima.
That's Majima, dude.
I think they'd just hang out. I think they'd be friends.
I think you're right. Draw.
Majima wouldn't smoke weed, though, because he would get arrested and go to jail for life.
That's right. Also, Majima has been shot a lot of times and lived.
Yeah, well, 50 Cent's whole thing is that he was
Has
shot
also
9
been
times.
He was shot 9 times, dude.
It's true, but how many times has he been stabbed and slashed?
There's a 50 Cent popularly once intoned that he would get rich or die trying, and he almost did die trying, and then he did get rich. That's the story. Can Majima claim that?
There was that time when 50 Cent forgot that he had some Bitcoin.
He did have 50 Bitcoins worth.
And then he had like $5 million worth of Bitcoin. He's
That's
like, huh.
pretty funny.
Did he literally have like? Can you imagine if he had half of one Bitcoin? How much is that worth right now? $8,000?
Something like that.
I don't know.
He had a lot. He had like.
How much is
several...
Majima's net worth? It's a battle of net worth.
Yeah.
Wow! One Bitcoin is $39,828.9.
Dang.
So if 50 Cent had half a Bitcoin, he'd have almost $20,000. Good for
That's
him.
right.
Yeah.
How much Bitcoin does Majima have?
Yeah, how much? That's the question.
Yeah.
Whoever has more Bitcoin is the winner.
Yeah.
I think 50
He
Cent
seems like
wins.
he could be into crypto. He wouldn't be proud of it, but he.
Dude, crypto was. Yeah, he would be in there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a scam, and he's a yakuza, so of course he'd be.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he would have a whole. He would have bought a whole Bitcoin like for breakfast one day.
Yeah.
When his buddy was telling him about it, he'd be like, "Oh, I'll get one."
He probably bought one around Yakuza 5 in like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he probably had one. He probably bought a whole one.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, how much is one? $6?
Right.
Return on investment. We don't know how
like
much
one
50
Bitcoin.
Cent paid for his Bitcoin."
Right. Yeah, I think we're. I think we got to give it to Majima then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. Our next match is Leisure Suit Larry versus Colonel Volgin.
Oh, I mean, Leisure Suit Larry. Right before the fight starts, he succumbs to syphilis.
And he
Yeah. He just goes into
His
syphilitic.
spine seizes up and he just falls over like a bowling pin.
He goes, oh, wubble, wubble, what? Oh. I don't even know what Leisure Suit Larry's voice is.
that's pretty accurate.
He goes,
probably
hubula,
like that.
hubula, hubula. And then he's dead. And then, is that it? That's my
Humana.
hubula, 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 yabula, dabula, dubula. I'm gonna die of the syphilis. And then that's it.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Yes.
I would think that Volgin would electroshock him back to life, and then shoot him.
Syphilitic electrocution revival.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've heard they do that. That's how they
Yeah.
get you.
that's right.
All right.
He would shoot him in
It's
the
an
head just to
expensive
make
bill.
sure the kill is confirmed afterward.
So that
Yeah.
brings us to our final, which is Majima versus Volgan.
Shoot. Majima is tragically dodges a rocket and falls off of a cliff. And then Volgan looks down and we can't find his body.
Yeah, Majima loses.
Then Majima he loses, but you don't see the body.
Yeah, he's assumed
He's
dead.
assumed
Which
dead.
means Volgan
Yeah.
goes on to be the 8th contestant on our shadow band list.
Oh.
It's interesting how
Majima might be back.
Laggardly sword.
it's kind of interesting
Didn't expect Laggardly.
how we usually have 8 contestants to make one of these Violence Islands, and now we have 8 contestants who have been banned from Violence Island. I wonder if that's going to
Yeah,
lead
I
to
think I
anything.
see where that's going. I just wanted to say that when Volgan and Majima fight, it happens to be Friday night, and Majima is dancing, and that's why he doesn't notice. Like in the meme.
Like in the meme.
Like in the meme. And then he's dancing, and then the rocket is about to hit him, and he does a quick swerve, and then just basically dolphin banana flops off the side of the cliff, and then there's no splashes heard. I want to emphasize that no splash is heard.
Yeah, the rocket explodes, the smoke clears.
But what happened?
He's just.
All right.
Who knows
We're
where he
running
is?
low on time, so I want to go right into our lightning round. Our lightning round is called This or That.
Okay.
I'm going to roll 2 random games from Moby Games, and you're going to tell me which game you'd rather play. That's it. That's the whole game.
Oh, excellent work. Excellent work. I can do this.
Would you rather play Mega Man 2, the Tiger Electronics handheld, or Keith Van Aaron's Pro Soccer for the Atari ST?
Shoot. That is a real kind of brick pile of a question there.
I think short-term Mega Man, long-term the soccer game.
Soccer game, whatever it is.
Yeah, I'd go for soccer's a classic
I think
video game design, man.
Looks like soccer wins.
All right. Chris
Yeah.
Graft, what do you think?
By consensus.
No stealth in soccer. No stealth in soccer, dude.
I said the soccer.
All right.
The soccer
Soccer
game,
all
just
around.
'cause
Anonymous for the Commodore 64, or Curse You Red Baron for Windows?
Curse you, Red Baron.
Curse you, Red Baron for
Red
Windows,
Baron
dude.
for sure, yeah.
Why is that?
The Red Baron is an interesting character. He's a guy who flies a biplane and eats a lot of the pizza.
That's
That sounds like a guy I would play
Right.
that game, dude. Right?
Yeah.
He makes delicious frozen pizzas, and he doesn't ask people what they want on their tombstones before he makes them. He just makes the pizza.
Would you rather play?
That's pretty
Would you
good.
rather play Blood Drive for the PlayStation 3, or Plants vs Zombies 2? It's About Time for the iPhone.
Plants vs. Zombies. Yeah.
Yeah, PvZ is a decent game.
Mhm.
A workman-like, a craftsman tool of a video game, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean that's before they went into the FPS. So yeah, that's one of the
Yeah,
regular
regular
ones. Yeah,
ones.
Plants vs Zombies for sure.
Our next one,
Heck yeah.
Harvest Time for the Game Boy Advance, or Gemino's Animal Pop Stars for the Nintendo Switch.
What? Wait, what was the first one?
Harvest Time.
Harvest Time.
Harvest
So
Time.
Harvest
Is it a game where you're just like the Grim Reaper with a scythe and you're just
Oh yeah,
like harvesting blood wheat in the fields of heck? Is that it?
that's gotta be.
If
I'd
that's
play
it,
that.
I'm going with Harvest Time. Yeah.
Is it like Body Harvest? Is it like Blast Core?
It's gotta be.
What's it?
I'm reading the description. As Ipom, a monkey with a hand for a tail, you
No.
collect ripe fruits as they fall from trees.
A hand for a tail? So it's like body horror.
Yeah.
That's pretty creepy, dude. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
I think Ipom is a Pokemon.
What was the other one?
Gemino's Animal Pop Stars.
Geminos?
Yeah.
I think it's pronounced
Anonymous?
Yeminos.
Oh, wait, I'm trying to look at Geminos.
Yeah.
What do any of these words mean?
Geminos. Animal Pop Stars.
Oh, this looks like Geminos is some sort of a property, possibly.
Somebody branded it.
Dude, actually, this Geminos Animal Pop Stars looks
Yeah, I'm looking
kind of
at
fun.
this right now.
It's like a, I don't know. I'm seeing all kinds of weird mini games. Like you're training all these animal pop stars and,
Cooking some
doing
food.
mini games, like rhythm games, and then you also do cooking.
This game's creepy as heck, dude.
You like set up their room and stuff, but it has this kind of like I don't know, Bratz doll aesthetic to it. I'm into it. I'm going with Geminos.
I'm not going with Geminos because it's published by Majesco, who are the reason that I spent 9 years paying my income taxes, back taxes.
Oh, Mage's company.
So I can't do it.
Fair
Can't do
enough.
it.
Kris Graft?
They kicked me in the balls.
No, I'm sticking with Harvest Time.
Yeah, I don't even know what Harvest Time is, and I don't care.
I'm the lone holdout for Geminos.
I don't know. Like Geminos is that. It's true. It's like kind of got a Bratz. I mean, it's like aggressive. The aesthetic is aggressive. It's threatening to me. Yeah.
It's a little Lisa Frank, a little Claire's Boutique. Yeah.
Those furry dolls that have like giant eyeballs. You know what I'm talking about? I don't like those things.
It's a laggard. It's laggardly.
Yeah, I didn't expect a laggardly
As someone
sword.
who's raised to recognize anti-Jewish propaganda, I'm wary of any nose-related media.
Oh, yeah.
Our next is Fiber Twig 2 Restoration of Magic Garden
What?
for Windows,
Nice.
or Catchem for DOS.
Catch 'em?
Catchem
Did you say DOS?
for DOS. Yes, I say DOS.
DOS.
I say DOS, I say Game FAQs.
Disk operating
Yeah.
system.
What was that? Fairy
Fiber
Twig?
Twig 2
Or Ca-
Restoration of Magic Garden.
I mean, I didn't get enough with Fiber Twig 1,
Yeah.
I gotta say.
I like Fiber Twig too. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is. It's an enchanting puzzle for the entire family.
That sounds right.
I love the entire family.
It's
No, I-
67% off on
Fiber
Steam right
Twig
now.
2. What the?
Yeah, this game's bonko. I'd play this game. I feel like this game's a
this,
little bonko.
this looks like
Looks like Ebony
It
or
looks
something.
like the Pipeworks or something like that.
yeah, it looks like
it's
Ebony,
like Ebony
but
Pipeworks.
it's for the entire
Come
family.
restore the Magic Garden, my lord.
Come play, my lord.
My lord.
And then what was the other one again? Sorry.
Come play, my lord. Come play, my
Laggardly
lord.
Sword.
Come play, my laggardly sword.
The other game was
Come play,
Catchem.
my laggardly
Come
sword.
play my laggardly sword.
Come play my Laggardly sword.
God, come play, my lord is maybe the best product slogan since Enjoy Coca-Cola.
Seriously.
It's just like, I wonder how much money the people that made Ebony are worth. That's just like a dynamite story for somebody to write for some game journalism outlet. Write about what is Ebony? What even is this game? There, you see all those ads where it's like pull the sword and like get the water to turn the lava into rock, and it's like literally an Ebony ad, and it's like that's not even in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's just so bonkers. There's a whole maybe I should do something about this.
Maybe.
I'm
I
thinking
just
about it.
pasted the cover for Catchem. I think y'all should take a look at it.
Catch them
Just
for DOS.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Just take a look at that.
are you sure it's the one for DOS? Oh, that actually looks pretty
I think
fresh.
it would be
It
pretty
is.
wild if the next action button review was just for Ebony.
This,
yeah. Well,
This
who
Catchem
knows?
game, there's a lot of intense eyeballs. I got to say,
Ape Escape ripped this the heck off, dude.
I'm kind of liking the
This is some
the
good
extreme
aesthetic. Yeah.
weirdo vibes of
Yeah, I
this
thi-
thing.
Do you see the monkey eating a bunch of fruit out of a dog bowl labeled
Yeah.
Monkey Bunch?
Oh.
Monkey brunch,
No, I think
I
this
think.
is problematic.
I like
Oh
it.
boy. All right.
Come play my come
My
play
Laggardly sword.
come play my laggardly sword. Come play my unholy beast. Come play my ill-omened beast. Right?
All right.
So this
So which
is.
one are we going with? Are we
I'm
going with
going-
Catchem?
I'm going with Catchem for now.
Yeah, I would laggardly sort my ill-omened beast into
Catchem.
Catchem
All right.
at this point.
Our next pair is Nonsense Madness for Windows, or
Oh, very good.
Ticket to Hollywood for Commodore 64.
Nonsense Madness?
That's right.
Nonsense Madness is a pretty good name.
Yeah.
It is. It's got a lot
Thanks
of.
for coming out tonight. We're Nonsense Madness.
Yeah, it's like it sounds like a band name for like the kind of person who would say, "Oh, that sounds like a good band name," which is and when it's like never a good band name, and then their music would sound exactly like you would expect it to.
I think Nonsense Madness may have some problematic imagery in it, so
Oh, does it?
let's go with the other one.
Nonsense Madness. I'm looking up Nonsense Madness. What has it got in it?
It's just got like a
Uh-oh.
guy with a feather in his hat, and then it's got a guy with a turban, and then it's got a sphinx with a big chin. It just kind of looks like
Yeah, this is
it's looking like we might be in some trouble.
It's less nonsense
What the
madness,
hell?
and it's more just
in
bad
a
jokes.
dangerous zone. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at nonsense madness as well.
Oh, yeah. The other one that wasn't nonsense madness was Ticket to Hollywood for the Commodore 64.
That sounds fun. Ticket to
Yeah.
Hollywood.
Oh yeah, it's a adventure game with a realistic style, and it kind of looks a little bit I don't know, like if they made Seinfeld for the Commodore 64, this is what it would look like.
I like it.
I think that's...
Ticket to Hollywood.
Yeah,
I think that's our winner.
I mean, I was guessing, yeah, this seems right.
Yeah, it gets my
All right.
vote.
Yeah, I would play it. Let's do it.
It's an educational trivia game.
So we'll learn something.
Yeah, give me that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Love to learn.
I do have a lifetime long love of learning. Our next matchup is Gun Pixies or Minesweeper.
Mind
Sweeper?
Gun Pixies is for the Windows, and Minesweeper is for the iPhone.
So Gun Pixies is one of these like sexy 12-year-old games.
Uh-oh.
And let's see what Minesweeper is.
Gun Pixies. Gun Pixies is also on the Nintendo Switch. It's a silly, erotic game with a serious message about your health. Published 3 years ago on Kotaku.com. Gun Pixies for the Nintendo Switch and PC is a third-person shooter platform starting your article with a be verb sentence and after a headline that has a be verb in it. Come on.
Justin Bieber.
So it's Minesweeper from what year?
Oh, it's long gone.
So it's not the 2019 Minesweeper.
Oh,
it's
I mean,
the,
I rolled it a while ago, so I don't know. That date is missing. I just took down the console.
Okay, well, what console?
The
did you say?
iPhone.
Oh, the iPhone. Okay, yeah. So I'm looking at the right thing. Yeah, let's say this one. Whatever.
All
Looks
right.
fine.
Yeah, this Gun
Yeah.
Pixies, I'm just looking at it, just a diagnosis of exclusion here, I would say.
Yeah.
The other one can't possibly be
All right, this is a good one.
less stupid than this.
Cabela's Outdoor Adventures for the PS2, or
Yeah.
I know what
God
that is.
Eater 2 Rage Burst for the PlayStation Vita.
I like God Eater. God Eater's cool.
I had God Eater.
But I actually recently did play Cabela for the PS2, and it kind of. So does that disqualify or super qualify me from answering
I think
this
it
question?
super
I
qualifies.
think it super qualifies. Personally, though, I don't like hunting. I'd rather eat a god.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's got to be God Eater for me. I mean, the game is pretty much just like, what if we did Monster Hunter? But I don't know. It's got some stuff to it.
I don't agree with Cabela's politics as a company, so...
No.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying I do either.
Yeah, right.
God Eater's all right. I like Code Vein better, and I don't like playing things on a handheld.
I like playing things on a
I mean,
handheld.
Code Vein's not exactly the same thing, and Monster Hunter's good. Like whatever, I don't know. I mean, I guess God Eater's what I would go
Yeah.
for.
I think that's our winner.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know,
Tiger Striker MP089 for Windows, or Scrapbook Page for Windows.
Okay, I'm just going based on the names,
yeah.
and I'm not sure.
Thank you for that insight, friend.
Yeah, I did it.
Oh, this is like a...
Well-
Scrapbook Page is PAIG.
Ooh, that's getting me a little more interested.
So it's a person who makes a scrapbook. So one thing I've learned somewhat recently is I personally do sit around championing the. I spent a whole year and a half making YouTube videos that hammer again and again upon the idea that we should have more video games that don't have violence in them. That somebody needs to make a AAA. The whole conclusion of my first season of videos is please somebody make a AAA game that doesn't have violence in it or whatever. Although I did come to this realistic point where it's like most games that you look into the past and you try to find like a non-violent game that's going to be cool, and then it's like, oh, a lot of them just really did suck and they missed a whole lot of memos. So I don't know what Scrapbook Page is.
It's a hidden object game.
Oh
that.
man, well there you go.
That sounds good to me.
It's hidden
Let's
object
hang
game.
out.
You know, an FPS is a hidden object game where the hidden object is just somebody's head and it keeps moving. That way.
Sometimes I have.
That's what it is, man. So little difference between a hidden object game and just
Elden
any
Ring
other
is a
video
hidden
game.
object game of the Laggardly
Oh
sort.
yeah, dude. Yeah.
The object is the ring. I mean,
Yeah, it's hidden very well.
Oh,
yeah.
Elden Ring.
Okay, our last one is Dead or Alive 6 School Uniform Helena for Windows.
Okay.
Or Cemetery Warrior 4 for Windows.
Oh,
Cemetery Warrior 4.
man, that's a close one.
They got that far with the venerated Cemetery Warrior series.
Yeah.
Which Cemetery Warriors?
Cemetery Warrior 4.
Is that you're just is that a Dynasty Warriors game where you're just fighting tombstones?
Yes.
Because that would be about as exciting as a regular Dynasty Warriors game. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's a joke. Dynasty Warriors games can be fun.
The in an Altered Beast, you hit tombstones at the beginning.
I gotta say, this
yeah.
Cemetery Warrior 4 is pretty Turok looking video.
I think it looks cool.
It actually looks kind of good.
I'm guessing it's cool. I just had more fun thinking about a Dynasty Warriors game where you're blowing up tombstones by swinging a spear at them. I think that's funny.
Yeah,
I feel like I should know about Cemetery Warrior 4.
yeah, I didn't know about it. Well,
It's
let's
fantastic
choose it.
Doom-inspired first-person shooter survival game. It's got the survival in it. Brandon
I don't like
Sheffield,
surviving.
a hater of stealth. I mean, maybe you haven't played enough AAA games that have survival mechanics, which usually because a lot of those also have stealth. But
Yeah.
survival mechanics is... no, this game still looks like it owns, though. I'd play this. Survival mechanics infect games similarly to stealth.
Certainly.
Not just the crafting, gotta
Yeah,
craft.
I'm down for Cemetery. I can't say it.
Cemetery Warrior.
Warrior 4.
Yeah, I thought it was Cemetery Warriors.
Cemetery 4. Maybe there is.
Cemetery Warriors is what they should have called it.
Maybe that was the second one.
The singularity of the warrior bothers me a little bit, but that's okay. I'd still play it. There's a Cemetery Warrior 5 as well, so if you want to catch up in time, you got to play Cemetery Warrior 4.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
First.
that's our lightning round. Who's got recommendations?
Recommendation.
I just watched the movie Smithereens, which I hadn't seen before. It's from 1982. If you've ever been part of like a DIY music scene, it will feel very familiar. It's ultimately about someone who wants to make something of themselves, but winds up couch surfing or like going across to whoever they think can help them out.
They become a Laggardly sword.
They become a
Come
Laggardly
play
sword.
by
Didn't
Laggardly Sword.
expect Laggardly sword.
And it does all this without doing any kind of I don't know. I feel like most movies that do this kind of thing, they want to then have someone descend into heroin and die or something like that. And it doesn't do that. And it's I enjoyed it. It made me think about stuff, and it'll be familiar to anyone who's been in a large city, I should say, and been in one of those kinds of music scenes. It's pretty good, and it's from the director. I forget her name, Susan
Simon.
who did.
She directed Desperately Seeking Susan.
Desperately Seeking Susan.
I've seen this film. It's a good film.
Yeah, so Smithereens, I recommend that. And then let's see, what else do I got? Oh yeah, I heard who we have referred to as Brian Crescente say his own name for the first time in a video. Did you know about this?
You said Crescenti?
He says Crescente.
Ooh, like
Yeah.
the Crusader.
Crescente.
I did not know that, and
Crescente.
he just went out and said Crescente.
Huh.
So
That's how it's pronounced.
Crescente.
that's how it's pronounced. So now we know that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Here's my last thing. Did you all know about this Tony Hacks? Have you heard about this?
No, who's that?
So no, it's Tony Hacks, Hax, and it is it's a
Porno website?
it's a hack basically for PlayStation games that works on like 8 or 9 games so far that they've confirmed, and it was discovered like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's an exploit specifically for PlayStation 1 where like you can overrun if there's like a name entry or other kinds of data entry where they don't check against the save data, then you can write your own code in there, and then you can create an exploit to play a burn of a
That's
game
bonkers.
if you have that save file. I love it because it's like, who's needing this now? And also only specifically for like 3 Tony Hawk games and like Cool Borders and like 2 other things.
Oh, yeah, Cool Borders is pretty good, though, dude.
Yeah, it is.
It's great. So I recommend looking up Tony Hacks just because I think it's exciting that somebody decided to try to figure this out.
What if we already have every PlayStation 1 game ever, though?
No, I know. I mean, like many people do, and that's why I think this is so
it's
neat
fun.
and stupid. because it's just like, why does this exist? So give it a look. Tony Hacks.
I'll smoke it. I'll see what's up with it.
That's what I got.
T-Hacks.
T-Hacks. Oh, wait, I have one more. Jun Chikuma has a new album that's out now.
Available
Jun
now.
Chikuma of Bomberman composer fame, who is now a world-class Afghan flute, the ney, I think it's called, player. Anyway, there's a album that she put out called The Midas Touch, which is music that she did from like commercials and like industrial music type, industrial like for industrial videos or whatever kind of things, and it's all either vapor wavy or like loungy or future funk type stuff. It's really good. It's super listenable, and I highly recommend. Okay, that's all I have to say.
The Midas Touch.
Yep.
Midas Touch is actually a curse.
Oh,
Everything you touch turns to gold.
yeah, I know, it sucks.
I don't know. I don't see the downside. I think it would be pretty cool.
You straight up die if you touch. If you you won't be able to eat.
Yeah,
anything.
but everything you touch turns to gold. I don't see anything wrong with this.
Good joke.
All right. I'd wish for it.
It's not fun. It's not funny when it
Donkey
actually happens.
ears or no donkey.
It's not funny when it actually happens to you. I knew this guy Midas. He's dead now. His daughter's dead.
His daddy's dead.
His mom is dead. His wife is dead. His dog is dead. It's not funny.
It's too bad.
Man, can't touch your dog? That would be...
Can't hug you, baby boy.
How can you wrestle if you can't touch your dog?
His toothpaste turned to gold. I have a recommendation, which is don't shave with an electric razor.
Makes sense.
Because I got an electric razor thinking maybe they're okay.
And they ain't.
And because I habitually never used an electric razor because I knew them to be just, for rubes, for idiots. And I got one thinking, let's try it out maybe in the 20 years since I last tried one. Absolutely horrid experience. If you can avoid it, don't use one. Thank you. That's all I've got. I want to take it back. Does anybody want an electric razor? I bought the best possible one thinking it would be good. And I've switched right back to my Philips Norelco One Blade, which is an electric beard trimmer that can also be used to shave. And it's doing me silky smooth. So I like those things. I've recommended those to many people. It's good for shaving.
Kris Graft, you got anything?
Yeah.
What do you got?
I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once. I laughed. I cried.
Did you yell?
I cheered.
I yelled.
Flatulated.
Did you yell?
I didn't yell. No.
Oh, that sucks. What the heck?
Yeah. I ate some food during it too. I think some loaded
What'd you
fries. Loaded fries. Yeah.
Did you go to Alamo Draft House?
No, this was at Flicks.
You loser. Flicks Brew House?
Flicks Brew House.
I went to one of those in Indianapolis, Indiana, and the one thing I wish I'd done is burnt it down on the way out. But there were so many people inside, I didn't want to kill anybody. So.
Yeah.
There's this whole element of like, are people allowed to yell fire when you set fire to the theater? And you don't want to put people in that predicament.
Yeah, basically it wouldn't have worked out very well. One of the worst movie-going experiences I've ever had in my life. Maybe the second worst.
No, mine was my experience there was good. I've had some bad ones lately as the theaters open. I've gone to a couple movies.
I mean, people just aren't used to going outside, so they're just filling their diapers in the theater and everything, right?
People have forgotten how to interact. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
Yes, that's exactly what happened. And I've been watching older episodes of the Simpsons as well. So anything between season 2 and 8 right now is I consider old.
That's the spot.
Yeah, and and I've been watching Dark on Netflix. I've never watched that, but it's got a wormhole in it.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah.
You ever go in one of those, dude? You ever check one of those out?
Praise the wormhole.
Oh, didn't expect Laggardly wormhole.
Tri-finger wormhole. Okay.
Didn't expect wormedly hole.
That's all I've got.
All right. I got some recommendations. I would like to recommend that if you're listening to this show on any platform where you can subscribe to or review podcasts, that you do that for us. It helps us a lot. You can also go to patreon.com/insertcredit, where you could become a patron to submit your own topics, listen to monthly bonus episodes, and get other surprise exclusive content. You could also join our community at forums.insertcredit.com or follow us on Twitter at insertcredit or on YouTube at youtube.com/insertcredit. The show is edited by Esper Quinn with music by Kurt Feldman. I'm Alex Jaffe.
I'm Tim Rogers.
I'm Brandon Sheffield.
I'm Kris Graft.
So come play my Laggardly sword.
Oh, yes. Come play my Laggardly sword.
Didn't expect Wormedly.
That's what the old sci-fi moviegoers, they're like, what's this movie? What are they going to do in space? And that's, I didn't expect Wormedly hole. I didn't expect that.
Nobody ever does.